I'm gonna wrap this up for this lot. So this will be part 3, I guess. So besides the pieces that are left over, there's not too many in those bins. There's not too many cool pieces, I don't think. A lot of basic brick, a lot of tires, and again, I like the old wheel spoke tires and the black rubber. There are some square edged black rubber tires which came out right after they got rid of the light gray tires. A lot of these guys, 2x2 bricks with tires, 2x2 plates with tires, gray, black. One turntable, which is relatively newer, so that's interesting. But I've been and black shutters, 2 of these black shutters. So other than that, 2x4 bricks, obviously for the tires. Nothing really cool left in the black. Blue, I'm thinking there was another set, but I just didn't care to build it because there is a blue steering wheel, and there are. If I can find it, this guy. So I think there's a town set myself. And it was a wheel well. I could have sworn it was in there. So blue basic pieces left, yellow just basically straight basic pieces. There's this guy, helicopter or plane or something. And of course, the original Maxi Figs hands. Red, I didn't even bother. Lots of windows, lots of slopes. Even the older type windows, really cool. Again, I think there was a town set, construction set. We'll get into that sec. White, I separated the 2x bricks, and then the rest of it is in here. Let's put this. The rest of it's in here. Plates and one back of a rocket thruster. Looks relatively new. Again, some more window shutters, and possibly the motorcycle for the police station, or probably a police set, because I got this guy and I got part of another guy with the top part and a hat. So, but cool to have. These pieces are left over, so I think there was a police set. And the constructions for this guy, because there was this minifig in there. So there was this minifig, but I don't have to build town. And I think that this would be the pieces that came with that construction guy, which is absolutely fine. Now, we have 2 Maxi Figs that I already mentioned, and one train coupling, old train coupling with a magnet still in it, although the magnet did fall out when I was washing it, so it's not in there. The glue probably gave out after a while. So those guys are done, and now let's go into this. This was probably a value pack of minifigs, because I don't see any castle pieces besides these guys. And there's 5 of them, and they all actually have all the same torsos. I'm not sure if the legs came with them, but overall I think they do. 2 big giant axes, 3 shields, 2 with this kind of helmet, or 3 with this kind of helmet, and 2 with this kind of helmet. I'm sure that was a minifig parts pack. I would imagine. Yeah, some of the pieces are a little loose. Nice to have. I'll put them in my castle bin. maybe Jeff would be interested. So, I actually go off on a really quick tangent. I really have, I do have a lot of classic castle. I have multiple copies of the yellow castle, but the first 3 or 4 years of gray castles, 4-digit gray castle sets. I think I was I wasn't a huge collector like Classic Space, but I did collect up until they released the glow-in-the-dark Ghost. I remember buying that one off the shelf. And so around there, I kind of, I'm going to stick with Classic Space. But again, I acquired lots of lots that had Classic Castle in it, Forestman and Wolfpacks and all that stuff. So I do have not a huge amount of castle, just like my huge, I don't have hardly any pirate, but I have some pirate. But overall, I have some castle. So more castle that I have. The most okay, I had the most classic space, but the next greatest theme back in the day that I have the most pieces for is probably Town, Lego Town. But then it'd be Castle for sure. Lots of Castle pieces. The reason why I have so much Town is because that's what people bought for their kids overall. There seem to be more Town sets than the rest of the themes back in the day. So I have tons of road plates. Like I won't even tell you how many. It's embarrassing how many road plates I have. But anyway, let's get into it. The space sets. La. So there was only one fully complete set, and that was this guy, which is utterly fantastic. One of my favorite sets. Now I am going to put an axle in here because this back end keeps on falling off all the time. But that was the only complete set. Now I mostly completed this guy with parts from my collection. So I put the trans yellow windscreen in there. I grabbed the other leg, the landing pad. I filled in the pieces here, an extra 1x1 trans screen. But of course I don't have another 918 for this side. So I'm actually thinking, because I do the Cricut printing, as we all know, I'm going to print a 1x4 918 and see how that looks. So this guy's complete again. I have another mostly complete 918. Always nice to have. And then the other one I completed tonight, or from the other day, is this guy, and it's mostly complete. But I am missing, because I have so many of these windows in the layout. I didn't have any extra windows for the window frame. So the two trans yellow that came with this guy are in here. This third window came out of my collection, but window frame, but there's no glass in it. But I completed with all the printed pieces in here. So that's all done. This guy's fully complete now. I grabbed all the pieces out of my collection. A dozen pieces-ish, I would say. But it's such a cool set. I do have, quote-unquote, multiple copies of it. But it's a cool set to have. So I finished this one. Actually, I finished all of them as best as I could. So those are the three ones that we talked about yesterday. And the fourth one that I'll bring over here now. I found one of my broken shield pieces, trans clear, but it's missing the handle off of it because I only found one in the lot yesterday. And 10 I had to grab from my collection. I didn't replace the 2x8 broken piece in there. You can see it's busted. I'm not going to worry about that right now. The 2x2 slope inside with the computer pattern on it, it's in there now. And all the 1x2 with jumper plate here and here I had to get from my collection. The 2x2 with handle I had to get that from my collection. That's era specific. Gun 1x2 with handle. So it's fun to complete them, but again, it's complete except this have the broken handle on the trans clear shield. I have a few, at least one in the collection. This guy was in there, almost complete, which was nice. I had to grab an antenna again from my collection. But all the pieces were there, even the 1x1 yellows, and you can see they're a little beat up. I'm going to say that overall, I'm not going to say this disparagingly, but overall, a lot of teeth marks. Not extraordinary number of teeth. I bought lots that were just unusable. These things are usable. I would say fair to midland. So it's above bad, but I would say it's good, but it's not great. And what I would normally do, especially with these classic space pieces, if there's a tooth mark, like right there, I don't know if you can see that, I would just kind of file that down so the dent would still be there, but the pressure out, the plastic that's sticking out, that would be interfering with any other build. I would just kind of file off. But overall, I'm not too worried about it, and it wasn't too bad. Then I typed in all the parts that I had left, all the fancy parts that I had left. And what I found was there was and I remember it in the store, there was a 3-set lot, a special lot that you could buy. All the boxes were glued to a backdrop. And it came with this guy, and it came with this guy, and it came with this guy. So I had most of the cool pieces were there, the classic space pieces, but the 2x6 plates I used up over here. I had to grab 2 more of these from my collection. You remember that? And the antennas. I always had to grab antennas. I only had like 1 antenna for this guy here. The rest of the antennas I had to grab from my collection. But all the black, I had all the black pieces. Fantastic. And the trans red, I had half of them, so I had to get trans red out of my collection. But the 2x6 I had to get out of my collection. But the rest of it is here, including the arm and the connector. 1 claw, as you remember from my last video, I only had 1 claw, so I had to grab the other one from my collection. But other than that, so I knew this was there, and I think a few people actually posted on my last video saying this one and that one were there. But this one, and then this guy, Jeff had. I think in our original, oh, look at that. That's the wrong gun. I have to fix that. Jeff had 3 of these in one of our original layouts, which is really cool. I had never owned this set when I was a kid. And so Jeff brought some to one of our shows. And then I started, hey, that's a cool looking set. So I started building them because I keep on finding them in lots. So I had to again grab the antenna, grab the 2x6, blah, blah, blah. The 2x4 Technic plate was in the lot. I think this was the last string wheel I had, and I had to grab the string wheel for the other 2. The clippies, 1x1 clippies, all there. All the utensils, all the tools were there, so can't complain about that. The thrusters, all there in the black. And then the last guy, the 1x1 bricks with headlight bricks. I had to get out of my collection. What else did I get in my collection? I'm trying to remember now. I think that's it. Oh yeah, the string wheel. String wheel I got in my collection. Oh yeah, and the antenna, the black antenna. But the tool was there, but the black antenna was not. And most of these later ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 minifigs. I had to grab 5 minifigs from my collection, which is what it is, right? And you can see this is one of mine, because all mine, originally from when I was a kid, have a number on them because they were in Lego Wars. So, and the Letra set still holds up, so you can see there's an 11 on there. He was in the movie. So yeah, 5 minifigs from my collection, but you know, whatever. I won't even tell you how many I have behind me. Actually, I would say this was my last yellow guy. I'm looking at my wall right now, and I have a yellow space person with hair, not the tank and thing, because it was probably in the layout ones, but all my yellow guys I think are in the layout itself. I have a stack of white, probably 2 dozen white, a dozen red, 2 blue that are not Benny. I have tons of Benny, but I have 2 original blue, and by the looks of it, I have in here in storage 0 black minifigs because they're all in the layout. Tons of Blacktron, tons of Amtron, tons of Blacktron 2, a couple Stormtroopers, orange, green, gray. I got 2 grays because I keep on building them over there, so that's cool. And just someday I might show you this little wall I got behind me here, that I just kind of keep on putting things on, and they keep on falling off, but whatever. But in the end, this is my last yellow guy from over there. So, but there was a leftover helmet, and there was a leftover air tank in the lot. That's, I think, in here somewhere. So I know that obviously, yeah, there it is. So I have a leftover air tank and a leftover helmet. But then I got a whole bin of those leftover pieces. There's the torsos I don't have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 classic space sets. 5 castle guys that came probably in the castle parts minifig pack. The construction guy was probably a set. I don't even care. I'll find the pieces if I want to. But 8 classic space sets plus the 2 base plates for $45, plus all these extra pieces. So I can't complain about that price at all. As well, and I don't know what I'm going to do with them, because I don't think I'll give them to Jeffy. The instructions for that guy. Now they are a little bit worn, a little bit not pretty, shall we say. They're not the worst instructions I've ever seen. but they are pretty old. I've had worse. The one that is worse is, unfortunately, this guy. He's really faded, and he's missing the bottom half, so it ends there. So what do you do with this instruction? Because it's missing half. This is missing on page 3 and 4, or half of page 3 and page 4. Pretty sad, but again, they're not pretty anyway. But I'll put them in a bin where I keep all my other instructions that usually go to Jeffy. I'll make that decision at some point, because I don't want them, and they're not pretty. They're not the worst I've seen, but they're not that pretty. Oh, and these 2 base plates. So these are the original base plates. This isn't obviously not the fire station or the police station, because there's no driveways on them. I don't know if these things probably came in a basic set at one point. I won't remember. I just remember getting these guys in basic sets, right? So, but if there's I would imagine, I vaguely recollect getting one of those basic 2, 4, 6, 8 sets, whatever, for ad hoc or just random building. But 2 of them. So hey, kind of cool. So that's gonna wrap this up for this lot. I am not going to sort the basic brick into my collection, because I have too many basic brick as it is now. Even though these guys are relatively nice. Again, I talked about the teeth marks, but on the basic brick, not too many teeth marks. So they're in good, not perfect, but they're for the age, where the injection mold's on the side. These things are in good condition, mostly glossy. You can sort of see, if I can get the sun in that, the light in the basement, you can sort of see some teeth marks, but not a lot. It's to be expected when you get pieces from the 70s. It really is. If you get mint pieces from the 70s, and I got, let's see if I can find it pretty quickly, because I haven't watched it yet. So what I'm doing right now for myself is I have a whole bunch of lots that I purchased over the last 6 months that I have not washed and have not put into this collection. And this is one of them. And when I came across this lot, it was, I'm gonna say, pretty much lightly used. And again, they all have the injection mold on the end of the bricks, but there's no teeth marks in this at all. There's a little bit of wear on them from being in a box, I can tell. No teeth marks. And they're all glossy. Let's look at that. They're all glossy, looking beautiful. Even the trans clear, it looks like they bought them and left them in the box, because these things were all apart when I got the lot. So the trans clear, no scratches. Like, you don't get that. Now some are faded, so it looks like, you know, I don't know if there was smoke or just sun involved. So the 2x2 and the 2x4 you can see has yellowed a little bit, but the glass is in the door, unscratched. You can see, hey, you can see through it. See me? So this, and yeah, I love getting these. See, this is my enthusiasm. So I got one in this lot. I forgot to show you. So I got this one's a little more beat up, but I got it in this lot here. But this takes me right back to being 4 years older over my uncle George's place, Uncle George Nettinelli's, and my cousin George's Lego collection. He's like 15 years older than me, and so this and the gray tires. So this gray tire, it's not on a rim, but it's not a bad gray. It's not the best I've seen, but it's not the worst I've seen. It's pretty solid, which I never liked. And the train wheel. So one of these days I'm going to go through this box here on the show and talk about it. So this box has newer pieces too, as I just found it, because the injections and it's done this one. But this set is very impressive with the lack of beat up bricks. And so, as I said in the last video, it would be nice if I had the time to go through my bin, just say for the red 2x4 bricks, right? And I know I have some really worn ones in there that are really scratched, that have a lot of teeth marks, that are pitted, and just replace them with these bricks, which are from the same era, but this is I won't say mint, but as close to mint as you possibly get for a 40-year-old piece, right? So some of it's faded. I can't complain about that because that's what's going to happen. Like this 2x8 white, a little bit of yellow on it, but it's I think it's CA because it's got the little more rounded corners, and it has that little yellowing effect on it from the 70s. You know, pieces like this, always cool to have. So this was a lot that I got. And I like this one, but I haven't got around to washing. Maybe it's washed because everything looks clean, and sorting into my collection, because it's like I am tempted to replace bricks that I have with the bricks that are in here, because these bricks are very, very nice and they're very, very old, and I like the two things: nice old nice old bricks. This yellow piece, okay, this is newer because the injection's in the top, and thin walls, so this kind of has a two things going. I mean, two eras of brick. There's an old original red, looking very, very sharp, looking very, very glossy. You can see the light shine. Let's see if I can get the light. I'm gonna close that. Sorry, glossy. So anywho, I am planning. No, I think I'll have to wash this because you can see this white brick is dirty. So I'm gonna wash that one. I haven't washed that one yet. And a lot of people say, Dave, why are you buying lots with basic brick? Well, you don't know it's just basic brick until you get the lot. I mean, you can have a look at it. It has some relatively cool pieces in there, but you don't know. So I'll go and look. And usually if I'm making the trip anyway, and it was like 20 bucks for a bin of brick like that, sure, it's all basic brick, or most of it's basic brick, but again, I showed you some really cool pieces that are in there. I'm gonna get it. Unless it's like really, really munched. And I a bunch of months back, probably even over a year ago, I got a lot that was, and I should have said no, but I had classic space in it, and that wasn't worth the trip to Acton, as we say in Canada, at least Ontario. It was pretty bad, and I had to give it a thorough wash, and some of the pieces with a toothbrush. So it's a lot of effort, and there was a lot of teeth marks on them, a lot of pieces. But I did get some really good classic space, and I think I got another 918 in that lot. That was mostly complete too. But the harder I have to work at it, the less I want to do it. So, and I am honestly, and this is just from me, I am trying so hard right now to, because I do have a lot of cleanup here, trying to slow down on purchases of used lots. And so when I saw this one and I saw there was classic space in it, that was my criteria, my impetus, my reason for buying it, for texting the person who was selling it. And what happened here was, what happened is this one? No, it's the other one I just got. No, it's this one. I Facebook Marketplace, a bin of bricks that you saw in the video, and $45. I said, perfect. So I sent her a text the night before, and she didn't get back to me. And I said, no, whatever, she's not interested. Maybe she's sold it already. And then when I was at work, I just happened to text her again, and it says, I'm still interested. And she got back to me immediately, and she says, okay, $45, somewhere in Burlington, not gonna tell you where, and come on over. So I went over there. She said, I have to leave wherever she said, I won't be home between 3 and 6. And I said, well, it's noon now, and I'm at the office. And if I leave after 4:30, then I have to drive all the way back from Hamilton, so I don't want to do that. So it's like 3 blocks from where I worked. And so I said, okay, I'll be right there. It's lunchtime. Scooted over there. Nice elderly lady, as they say, grandma possibly. And she said the kids were playing with it, and the grandkids were playing with it, but everybody's lost interest, and she's downsizing. Good for me. And she said $45. And again, I had to wash them, absolutely. And yes, there are teeth marks on most of the pieces, not big gougy teeth marks, but some have a lot of teeth marks. And if I can show you here, if I can show you this side, you can see all the way up there on some of the pieces, teeth marks. But that's what's going to happen. It's going to happen on these sets that are sold. Now, what I could have done is I could have gone into my collection and replaced the worst pieces, the worser pieces, the not as good pieces. I was an English major once. The not as good pieces with pieces out of my collection, because you can see this piece here. Not only is it yellowed, but there's some really nice, good teeth marks on it. But in the end, it's fine. It honestly is fine for me. They were usable. If they're not usable, they go into bin of doom. And if they're a basic piece, and even if they are sort of usable, they go into bin of doom. But if they're a classic space piece, they have to be pretty bad for me to put them in the bin of doom. But and now I got yet another one of these, mostly again without the broken handle. So anyway, 26 minutes. Part 3 of this guy. I am happy with them. I'm not going to take these apart. They are going to go into Ziplocs and into the storage container I got going on for my latest batch of classic space sets. This is tweaking my curiosity, or not my curiosity, my impetus to get back into doing my set reviews, because there's 3-digit set, 3-digit set, 3-digit set, and the rest of them are 4-digit sets. But I stopped at the 6981, 6982. I can't remember now. To go back and look. I should actually finish that up and do at least the 3-digit sets of my reviews on them, because they are, I won't say my personal favorite. Just the 3 ships are my personal favorite from the entire line, because I do like the 4-digit sets, and I reviewed most of them. But I might have to go finish that, and winter is coming, so I might have the time. And I am honestly, and this is it, I am dreading building the biggest sets now. Even though I own them, I am dreading. The one I didn't own is the for crying out loud, the UFO, the largest UFO set. I do not have those, the two big gray quarter rounds, but I'm sure I can probably build and fake it for now. I love the Megacore magnetizers in my top 10 favorite sets of all time. Yet I do not want to build it, because it's going to take a lot of work to build it. And that's why I want to clean up my room, so I have access and the ability to go get the pieces I want to build the sets I want to build, to build whatever I want to build. So that's why I'm focusing on getting the stuff up off the floor and getting the stuff built that I want to get built, really from the lots that I got making these videos for you guys. But the end goal is to get the stuff up off the floor. And so this was a lot that I got that was sitting here. It's washed now, and its pieces are ready to go into collection. I got another lot that's behind these guys that I found just by cleaning up. And they're washed now, and I'm gonna go through them. But that's gonna be a quicker video, because that lot behind here, and I'm just gonna take these down for now, and you can see them right there. There and there. That lot's basically, I don't have to build anything from this lot. And that's because I got this lot off the same guy up in Ancaster that I bought the other lots from, and I already completed those sets. And so this was another lot that I bought off of him in the original red Lego case with the opening lid. And so I realized, because I mentioned this in those older videos, there was a 6985 in one of those lots that I got off this guy, except those missing pieces. Well, the missing pieces are in here. So I was like, oh, I would have had the full instead of grabbing it from my collection. So, but there's not enough. This is a smaller lot than those ones. So I didn't build the 6985's already built. The 6980's already built. The sets that the pieces I saw, these pieces come in, are already built. And and I'm not going to bother building another, because only like there's a dozen. I think you'll mention, if you remember, there was a 6980 or 6985, and I'm just recollecting this now, where I said I had to grab like 50 pieces from my collection. Well, those 50 pieces are here now. but there's definitely there's no wing plates, there's no hardly any trans yellow, only this one trans yellow piece here. Again, I had to grab the rest of them from my collection. So it is like, these guys, I think I remember from the video, I had to grab this from the collection for the 6980. So it is what it is. I got the pieces now, and so that's going to be possibly not a 3-part video series. It's just going to, hey, look what I got from this guy that sold me other lots, and these are the cool pieces that I should have, I would have loved to have back when I got the bigger lot. I bought that towed off him that one time. I've actually been there a bunch of times. A really nice guy. I got a 6950 originally of my first trip out there. I got a 6950, mostly complete, and the 2-3 finger hinge, but whatever. But I was out there, I think last year or the year before, and I bought a tote of brick. And then a couple months later, he advertised these 2 Lego cases, and I bought them. And as soon as I opened them up, I realized those are the missing pieces that I was missing from the lot that I got from him before. So it doesn't matter. I had fun, and I have the extra pieces here. So anyway, in the end, that should be a really quick video. Well, my quick. It will be in one video, because I'm just going to go through them, talk about, you know, here's a fire guy, really cool. So lots of castle, which was kind of neat, castle walls, but I'll talk about that next video, just to keep you guys going. 30 minutes, that's good enough. Sorry for wasting your time. I will hope everybody's doing well out there. I will hope, yes, I do hope everybody's doing well out there. I have an extended long weekend. Took some vacation, some personal days off today, first of all, because of some medical appointment. But Monday, I'm going in for surgery. So it should be fine. It's day surgery. It's in and out surgery. So I'm going to go, so today's Friday, almost Saturday. So I am going into my surgery on Monday, and then I will and I have to recuperate, convalesce, not use this hand for a couple days for typing and stuff like that, so I can maybe build something with one hand. I don't know. So we'll see what happens, or just sort. Can't get my finger wet. It's gonna be stitches in this hand, right in this finger, right there. There's a growth right there, and it's bothering me. So, and I couldn't schedule a Dr. Pimple Popper, and nor I was told she would be interested in that. What's going on right here? Because I'm not a doctor. I'm no MD. I am no. There's no letters behind my name. This little growth here. There's nerves that go through here, and this kind of growth kind of grew around the nerves, and therefore you have to have a high-end plastic surgeon to do the surgery. But I had a consult with him a few months back, and he said, piece of cake, and just show up on the date, which will be Monday now. It'll be like, cut it open, remove the growth here, and stitch it up, and you're on your way. So there it is. We'll see what happens. Everybody out there, take care of yourselves, take care of your friends, say hi to your friends, hang out and do stuff. I'm going to try to see my friends this weekend. Sandy's going to go see her friend this weekend. So I am, the other thing is, this weekend, maybe I'm going to be cleaning the garage and doing some woodworking, and I might do a video about that. So anyway, that's it. That's all. I've rambled on enough. Everybody take care, stay safe, and I will talk to you soon.